Imagine hitting submit on your e-file, feeling the relief of taking taxes off your to-do list, only to get rejected. Yeah, it's the absolute worst. But don't panic. Let's dive right into why an incorrect AGI might be the culprit here, and more importantly, how to swiftly fix it. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to untangle one of the absolute most common and definitely most frustrating roadblocks of tax season. If you're staring at a rejection email right now, seriously, take a deep breath. We are going to get through this roadmap together in 6 quick steps. First, understanding AGI. Then, why AGI errors happen. Third, finding your correct AGI. Fourth, correcting your e-file. Fifth, troubleshooting persistent issues. And finally, tips and best practices. Let's get that return accepted. So, Section 1, Understanding AGI. Okay, let's dive into this. To fix the problem, we really need to understand the mechanics of what just went wrong behind the scenes. Like, what exactly is AGI, and why does it matter so much when you hit submit? Well, when you file electronically through the IRS modernized e-file system, there's obviously no physical paper for you to sign with a pen, right? So to secure these transmissions and confirm you are actually you, the system needs a digital handshake. And that handshake, it's your prior year adjusted gross income or a self-selected 5-digit PIN. If that digital signature doesn't perfectly match what the IRS has on their master file, boom, the system automatically rejects the return. It's really just there to protect you from identity theft. To quickly demystify the math here, your AGI is simply your gross income, which is all your taxable stuff like wages, dividends, and business income, minus your above-the-line deductions. These deductions, which are sometimes called adjustments to income, are things like student loan interest, educator expenses, or deductible self-employment taxes. You subtract those, and the resulting figure is your AGI. That's the golden number the IRS uses to verify your identity. Moving right along to Section 2, why AGI errors happen. So moving into the diagnosis phase, let's look at exactly why the AGI you typed in might have triggered those lovely IRS reject codes, usually IND 031-04 for the primary taxpayer or IND 032-04 for a spouse. First off, I need to normalize this mistake. This happens literally all the time, and usually for a few very specific reasons. Say you filed late last year, or maybe the IRS is just experiencing processing delays. They might not actually have last year's tax return fully entered into their master database yet. So to their system, your AGI just doesn't exist. Other really common culprits include being a first-time filer, simple transcription errors like a typo, or pulling the number from an amended return instead of your original one. We'll get to that in a second. Section 3, Finding your correct AGI. Now, what's really interesting about this is where you actually find this personal treasure map to locate the exact right number. You see, the IRS has redesigned Form 1040 a few times over the years. That means your AGI has moved around depending on which year's return you're looking at. If you're looking at a return from the 2020 through 2025 tax years, your AGI is found specifically on line 11. It's a single, unified number, so don't go hunting for a line 11A or 11B, just line 11. Now, if you happen to be pulling from a 2019 return, it was on line 8B, and way back in 2018, it was on line 7. Okay, listen up, because this is a massive trap that catches so many people. If you amended your tax return last year using Form 1040X, or if the IRS sent you a math error notice that changed your total, you actually must ignore those updated numbers for e-filing purposes. Yeah, you heard that right. The IRS e-file system almost always keys off the AGI from your original unamended return. Always use that first number. But wait, what if you completely lost your old returns and just don't have the paperwork anywhere? No problem at all. You can actually get a free transcript straight from the source. Just head over to irs.gov/transcript. Pass the secure access identity verification and request a tax return transcript. It'll list your AGI right there on the document. And hey, if you can't pass the online verification, don't sweat it. You can call their automated line or mail in Form 4506T to have it sent to your physical address, which usually takes about 5 to 10 days. All right, Section 4, Correcting your e-file. Now that we've diagnosed the issue and found the correct data, it's time for the treatment. Let's fix that e-file. I really want to highlight what the tax industry calls the $0 workaround. This is super handy. If you're a first-time filer over the age of 16, if you didn't file a return at all last year, or if you filed late and your return hasn't been processed by the IRS yet, well, their system is essentially completely blank for you. In these scenarios, you simply enter $0 as your prior year AGI, and that should bypass rejection entirely. So the crucial point is how we actually execute this fix in your software. The great news is it's completely software agnostic. Whether you use TurboTax, TaxSlayer, Easy Tax Return, or really anything else, the process is pretty much the same. Just log back into your account, navigate to your return status or your rejection details, and look for an option to fix or revisit the electronic signature section. Enter that newly verified AGI from line 11 or your $0 workaround if that applies to you, and simply hit resubmit. In most cases, you're going to get an acceptance email within 24 hours.
Moving on to Section 5, Troubleshooting Persistent Issues.
Okay, but we all know technology doesn't always cooperate on the first try, right? Let's talk about what happens when systems are just being stubborn. You entered the right number, you double-checked line 11, you tried the $0 workaround, and bam, rejected again. What if the e-file just refuses to go through? I know, it's incredibly frustrating, but you still have some excellent backup plans. First up, if you're filing jointly and the rejection code is IND032-04, try entering 0 specifically for your spouse's prior year AGI. Sometimes that does the trick. Next, check if the IRS issued you a 6-digit identity protection PIN, or IP PIN. They issue these to combat identity theft. If you have an IP PIN, it actually supersedes the AGI requirement for identity verification entirely, so just enter that when prompted. And finally, if the digital gates are just completely locked and nothing is working, your ultimate failsafe is to simply print the return, sign it with a real pen, and drop it in the mail. Old school, but it works.
And finally, Section 6, Tips and Best Practices.
All right, let's move into our final section here. Now that we've hopefully solved the immediate crisis, let's make sure your future tax seasons are significantly less stressful. The absolute best thing you can do is download and safely store a digital PDF copy of your Form 1040 the exact second you file it. Seriously, don't rely on your tax software to just keep it for you forever. Also, take maybe 10 minutes to set up an IRS online account at irs.gov/account. It gives you immediate access to your tax records, transcripts, and your prior year AGI without ever having to dig through old files. Finally, using the exact same tax software year after year often allows the system to automatically carry over your prior year AGI, which just makes for a totally seamless validation process.
And honestly, this whole ordeal brilliantly illustrates a reality of the tax world. Things evolve. Tax laws, form layouts, and IRS verification procedures can, and absolutely do, change over time. It's so important to stay informed and double-check those instructions year by year, because what worked perfectly on a 2018 tax return might look completely different on a 2025 return. And of course, I have to give a quick reminder here that this explainer provides general guidance based on standard IRS procedures. Everyone's financial situation is entirely unique. If you've got a highly complex tax issue or if you're dealing with messy identity theft complications, please do yourself a favor and reach out to a certified tax professional for individualized help. So, we've covered the why, the where, and the how of fixing that pesky AGI rejection, which brings me to my final question for you. What steps will you take today to secure your tax records for next year? Seriously, go download that PDF, set up that online account, and give yourself the gift of an easy, rejection-free tax season next time around. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy filing!